Facebook. So, what do you think about advertising on Facebook?
I've always been a fan of Facebook ads. I've always been a big supporter of Facebook ads. We use it ourselves in our company, and we promote it to a lot of businesses. Whether you're a big business or a small business, you can't beat the targeting that's available to you in Facebook ads. If I'm a wedding photographer, I can specify that I only want to advertise to engaged couples or whatever the case may be. You have so much power, and a small business really has a lot of power because they can target their town. I've done small campaigns for my friend in town who owns a spa here in Orangeville, where we've done gift certificate promotions for her. Only people in the surrounding area see her ads, and they show up and they say, "I saw you on Facebook." So we know it works.
Right, it's pretty powerful.
We know it drives business, and it's one of the cheapest ways you can buy local and or targeted advertising.
But when I think of Facebook, quite a while ago, I used to think it was only a social networking site. I mean, it's been built on the premises of people knowing other people and inviting those people that they know and sharing information. I mean, people share information about their kids, they share information about their cars, their hobbies,
Yep.
Where they went to school, where they work. People have been fired by their bosses for putting up stuff about their bosses on Facebook.
Yep.
I mean, it's been a whole conglomerate of troubles, and also ways of connecting people. They have different modules such as the ability to connect with relatives that you haven't seen for years. I mean, I've had relatives way out in distant places in Canada tell me, we used to hang out as kids, and I certainly don't remember them. But what the fun thing is that it connects people together that you wouldn't otherwise connect.
Yeah.
But how does it work for business, though? I mean, is it effective for business?
Well, I think the business side of Facebook is still being ironed out, and I think that a few years from now, our discussion about this will change.
Right.
And I think that right now it's still very premature, but there is room for business on Facebook, and I think there's room in terms of using things like the Facebook like button on your website, which is really powerful. I think taking advantage of having a Facebook group. I'm not a big fan of Facebook groups. I know that you have one, and I know that a lot of people set them up. We do have a couple of Facebook groups, but I don't find them to be that effective. And I think that unless you have a real plan for how you're going to not necessarily monetize that group, but how you're going to get your users or your customers or anybody that's a part of your group to actually participate in it and treat it more like a community. If you look at it that way, even if you said, I'm going to set up a Facebook group so my customers can help each other,
Right.
and have a discussion about my products, or have if maybe you're in the software business and your tech support isn't open isn't open every day, it's not open on the weekends or something like that, and people can go into this Facebook group and say, hey, I'm having this problem with this Windows install, can you help me? And somebody else says, yeah, I had that problem, I just did this, that, and the other thing. You create a community for your customers. That's where I think the value is.
Right. One of the things that I like about the groups, though, on the flip side, is that if you create a page, then you can set the privacy so that everybody sees that page, and you're not really worried about everybody seeing it. So that means that all your friends, all their friends, also when you post something, they can come to your page and they can see all the information that you want them to see about your business. Whereas for my personal Facebook page, I wouldn't want everybody to see. So I set my privacy so that they can't look at all the different projects that I got going on and things like that too. So I think there's a benefit in that and sort of separating that.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think that everybody's different. I'm a little bit more. I've blurred the line a little bit more between my personal life and my business life. So my Facebook account is kind of a mix of the both of the two. My personal account is, but I think for a lot of people that's a concern. I find that concern comes up more often with parents.
Right.
Because they don't want their pictures of their kids being out in the public and all that kind of stuff. And I see that there's a huge value there. And I think that definitely, if you're concerned about your privacy, you should have a personal Facebook account that you lock down for your friends and family, and you should have a group for your business.
Right. Yeah. Because one thing I know.
Fan page.
Yeah. Well, they call it a like page now. They
right. That's right. The like page. Sorry.
Fan page. Yeah. So, what about Facebook and search? What do you think? Is Facebook, or will Facebook play a role in search?
Well, yeah, I've talked about this on my blog in the past. I'm a really big fan of social search, and I think that over the next few years we're going to see the whole search engine game change. And right now, as a search engine optimizer, my business is still focused on Google because that's where the traffic is,
Right.
and it will be until Google isn't where the traffic is.
Right.
But as Facebook and other what I consider to be emerging search engines do emerge, they'll be on my radar, and I'll be spending more time looking at them. Right now, I'm spending a little bit more time looking at Facebook than I even was 6 months ago because of the like button and a few other things that have come out that have made me realize that Facebook is actually really well positioned to get into the search game because of all the data that they have about all of us and what we've chosen to share with our friends and all that kind of stuff. It's actually a lot more sort of a recommendation engine than it is a search engine. And so the data is based on referrals as opposed to what Google bases it on now, which is like link popularity, which can be. It's easier for somebody who just knows what they're doing to get to the top of Google, whereas a contractor or somebody like that on Facebook will only rocket to the top if they do a really good job at their service and at their business, which will, I think, be the way that search works in the future. It's like the guy who's number one is pleasing all his customers or her customers, and that's why they're number one.
That's a big game changer, sound to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
So look after your customers.